first, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Hello, everyone. This is Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Nibbler. As always, we appreciate you joining us. We are live streaming here from the Fox 12 Oregon newsroom, as we do every weekday, starting at 1, going throughout the afternoon, having a wide variety of conversations and segments on this show. So thanks for joining us. Right now, we're going to be talking about Trans Awareness Month, and in particular, some comedy shows that are coming up. We've got local comedian Allie Ward, who joined us to talk about some different projects that she has going, and also to talk about these upcoming comedy shows. So let's jump right into it. Here's Allie Ward. Thank you very much for being here with us today. I appreciate it. And, I want to learn more about these shows that are coming up. But to start off, I wonder if you could tell us just a little bit about yourself and, maybe how you got into the comedy scene to begin with.
Sure. Well, hey, my name's Allie J. Ward. I have been doing comedy now for just under 2 years here in Portland. About 2 years ago, I did my first open mic, took a couple classes, and since then hit the ground running. And now I am performing all around town, Northwest, produce a couple of my own shows. I'm a cast in a couple others as well.
Nice. That's a pretty quick learning curve there for 2 years. To jump from that to putting on shows, that's a lot of work.
Yeah, I think it's because I'm an Aries. I just have a ton of energy. I don't stop. So just put a lot of work in.
Well, what was it about comedy that drew you to it in the first place?
It's always something I've really wanted to do, and I've just never had the confidence or right time to do it. And I remember 6 years ago, I was talking with a friend that I was like, I really want to pursue stand-up, but I think what's really helped is I have come into my own trans identity, and with that is my own confidence, and that has led me to just pursue more things that make me happy. And so I finally kind of just took the dive into stand-up. And I know a lot of stand-up comedians joke they start when they're at the worst point of their lives, and I'm the exact opposite. I'm thriving. I'm like, you know what? Let's try this.
Hey, that's great. Whatever gives you that confidence. I mean, just to some people, stand-up will be terrifying, but I'm glad that that makes you happy, which is great. Well, so going from there, let's talk about a couple of other things too, because you have a project also in addition to the comedy shows, and tell us about that.
Yeah. So last year on my Instagram, I just wanted to highlight trans-owned businesses, services, artists in Portland. I have some graphic design knowledge, so I just used those skills to just highlight folks in Portland who are trans, so that people could find them, support them. And so this year, I'm turning this into a project called the Portland Trans Awareness Project. And so what it is it's just a directory for folks who are wanting to find trans-owned businesses, services, artists who they can support. So whether you're trans and you just want to support your own community or find safe spaces, or if you're an ally and you really want to support the trans community, this is a way that you can find people directly and support our community here in Portland. And then the Instagram page that we built out is also going to serve as some sort of event hub for trans events and highlights of these individual folks we're highlighting on the directory.
Nice. I mean, and there wasn't something like this before, so this is something that people can go to there. And what's the response been like since you had the Trans Awareness page put up?
Well, last year was a really cute, big positive response. So those slides have always kind of lived on my page, and people kind of known to just find me there. So now it's kind of this is it's separate from where I am on my comedy page. So we're kind of trying to get the word out now to just remind folks that oh, it's just in a different spot, but let's go support it. So, but I know the folks that we featured in the past and still are really appreciative of the opportunity to seek out new clients and those kind of things.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, anytime you can go somewhere and find all that information in one place like that, I'm sure people are very appreciative and wanting to support. Well, going from there, talking about the comedy shows that you have that you're putting on, as if you don't have enough things happening. Tell us about some of these shows that are coming up.
Yeah, so November is Trans Awareness Month. And so last year, I produced 3 different shows that were all lineup of trans folks. This year, I'm doing the same thing. We've already had one. We had a trans storytelling show called Trans Spites that happened on the 14th. But tonight at Schilling Cider House is Hear You Loud and Queer. It's my comedy production. It's our monthly show. But this month is an all trans lineup. And then on Sunday, November 24th at 5 p.m. at Curious Comedy Theater is what we're calling the Big Trans Comedy Show. And so it's over a dozen trans and non-binary comedians performing on one stage. So it's like the most opportunity to see as many trans comedians here in Portland as possible. All three of these shows that we've done this month are a fundraiser for Mixed Dahlia Bell. For folks who don't know, Mixed Dahlia Bell is a Black trans woman comic here in Portland who's been performing here for a while. Has made some prominence, like being featured on The Guardian and NPR, and also recently on Netflix.
Nice. And that's a huge lineup there for the Curious Comedy one. That's a lot of folks on stage.
Yeah.
That's a lot of people for you to manage too.
For sure. They're all people I consider friends and love, and they're easy to work with. Mm-hmm.
Nice. Well, for people who want to come out either to the show at the Cider House or to Curious Comedy, what can they expect when they come out to the show, for people who maybe not have been to one before?
Sure. So like Hear You Loud and Queer is a monthly stand-up show. So it's just a lineup of comedians doing traditional stand-up. But all of our shows are always like we try to throw in some audience participation. We encourage like our acts to be a little more fashionable, and like so it's kind of like it's like some really good like queer joy, and that's our vibe. And then the big one on Sunday is like it's all over the place. You know, we got stand-ups, we got some improv, we got some we have some clowning, some other types of comedic acts. So it's like a huge variety of things, which I'm really excited about. And the other thing that they can expect on Sunday's show is we have a small market of trans vendors who are selling things. So it's just like a really great way to just like get to know some trans folks in your community.
Nice. Get to know people and see all kinds of different performances. I mean, did you say clowning? I'm sorry, I just want to make sure I heard that right. Okay.
Yeah, Lucky the Clown is one of my absolute favorites.
I'm already interested to find out, to see that. So these are opportunities for people to come out and support, but as we mentioned, there's also the website to go back to at any time. And you mentioned, it's Trans Awareness Month. What do you think is the most important thing for people to know?
Well, Trans Awareness Month also corresponds with Trans Day of Remembrance, which was yesterday, and it's a day that we honor the folks that we've lost, especially like to violence. The violence towards trans people rises every year. An overwhelming majority, like above 85%, is on Black and brown trans folks, and so it's really important that we understand like the battle that trans folks are fighting for equality, for rights, for protections, and an ever-growing climate that is like targeting against them. So there's a lot of that focus too, but then also part of it is just like making folks aware of like the trans people in their lives and their communities and how they can support them.
Absolutely. And going back to that again, I want to remind everybody, can you tell them, what the site is and some of the best places they can go, to support both the shows, that are coming up here, but also just in general with everything else that you're doing?
So if they want to check out the Portland Trans Awareness Project, we're on Instagram at PDX Trans Awareness Project. You can go to bigdoorprize.com. That is my website. There you'll see the Trans Awareness Project. You'll see things about Hear You Loud and Queer, which is my show, and then some of my comedy if you want to follow me and my things. And then if you want to check out the shows tonight, follow us on Instagram at Hear You Loud and Queer, all spelled out. There you can see the ticket link to both these shows. And for the Big Trans Comedy Show, you can just buy your tickets directly at curiouscomedy.org. Nice.
Curious Comedy is an awesome place too.
Really.
Yeah, it really is. Well, anything else that you think is important for people to know?
I just I really appreciate this opportunity to chat with you. Ultimately, just like we have such a vibrant and hardworking and talented and just super creative community of trans folks here in Portland. And so whether that's you're trying to find a comedian you want to go support, you need a new hairstylist, tattoo artist, new restaurant to check out, like check out the directory, find ways that you can support these folks directly. There's also some nonprofits on there that you can also find and support as well. And so, this is like easier to bring awareness during Trans Awareness Month, but like keep us in mind throughout the whole year. It's not just 1 month.
Yeah, totally. 100%. Well, Ali, thank you very much, for having some time to talk to us too about this, and congratulations on 2 years in comedy, and you have a million shows going, but two that people can go to here just in the next week or so. So tonight and coming up. So really appreciate you being able to have some time to talk to us.
No, thank you so much, Greg. And hopefully we'll see some of you folks at these shows.
All right, big thank you to Ali for joining us there for that segment. And again, this is Fox 12 Now. We live stream out of the Fox 12 Oregon newsroom. You can check out all of our segments on the Fox 12 Oregon YouTube channel at kptv.com under the Fox 12 Now tab, or on those Fox 12 Oregon apps, which are available on pretty much any device or whatever streaming platform you are on. We'll have that there as well. So thanks for joining us. We'll talk to you soon. I'm Greg Nibbler. This is Fox 12 Now.